What's up? It's Marco back on the Sage Your Soccer channel. Today I'm going to be running through the US Men's National Team's Nations League squad. And man, it's a really interesting team. So getting into it, I think a huge positive for this team is I feel like we put together the perfect starting 11. Everybody who should be starting in this team is there. I think it's the first time we have Pulisic, Adams, McKennie all together and starting. We have John Brooks in the defense. Sergiño Dest is there. Zack, Steffen in goal. We have Yunus, Musah, Reyna, even Josh Sargent. They're all together in the team. Whoever our other defenders are going to be, it'll come down to that. But I feel like this is the best starting 11 we have. And man, this is a really talented team that I was looking forward to. And we didn't screw this up. Everybody who should be here is here. And it's going to be really fun to watch them all play together. Next big positive with this team, the defense is just about perfect. Now, there's some youth, there's some experience in this team, a lot of athleticism, a lot of technical ability, and even some offensive threats. Man, it's going to be really interesting to see how this team will line up. We got John Brooks. We know he's going to be one of the center backs. We know about his passing range on the left side. We could throw in a Mark McKenzie, then have two center backs who can really just find passes all over the field. Maybe a Matt Miazga would be a more defensive option. I'm not even sure if he is. That's why I'm really interested to see the friendly coming up to see who will take that step up, Miazga or McKennie. But either center back's looking good. We get to see which side Sergiño Dest will play on. We saw how good he was going forward. I think he can honestly do it from both sides. Honestly, for the USA team, he's probably looked better on the left, but we know that the right side is his more natural position. So Antonee Robinson and Reggie Cannon, they're going to have to battle it out. Maybe DeAndre Yedlin can get in there. And man, Yedlin was very good for the USA team off the bench in the 2014 World Cup. That was a while ago, but he still has that athleticism in him, and he's only gotten better. So maybe Yedlin's an option to bring on off the bench. And geez, this team's just looking really good. Even Ream is there. Due to Aaron Long's injury, I don't have a problem with him being included. And that's some more experience. He's another guy who can play on the left-hand side. And this defense is looking really good. The last huge positive I want to mention is, man, our wing position is a lot stronger than I realized. Pulisic and Reyna, they are probably going to be the starters, and those are two just star players at this point. Reyna and Christian Pulisic, you always have to plan for them when they're on the field. And then Brenden, Aaronson and Weah appear to be our other two wings. Both are two very good players in different ways. Weah, he brings a lot of athleticism, probably the better finisher of the two. And Brenden Aaronson, he can really just cut inside. He's more of a creative player. He can take players on with his feet more. And yet, just our wing position is very strong. I don't think I realized how good it was. And then you throw in maybe a DeAndre Yedlin can play out there as well. And that's a huge strength of this team. So yeah, that's just about it for the whole team. I'll put the whole team in the description, but man, it's looking really good. Our starting 11's great. Adams, McKennie, and Musah is going to be a really fun midfield to watch. You get to see Pulisic and Reyna play alongside Josh Sargent. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see this game. But speaking of up front, there's one pretty huge omission for this squad, and that's Daryl Dike. Not having him into the team is a pretty big call. In my opinion, he's one of the best players in our system, and probably one of the most promising as well. So I'm really not sure about that decision. Jordan Sebastian, oh my God, I'm going to have to get used to that name. But he was called up in his place, and he has played well, but it was only in the Swiss League, which I don't consider a step up for the MLS or the Championship. He did have a very good game against Bayer Leverkusen, scoring a couple goals, but I'm not too sure if I would put that as high. Well, I do play that pretty highly. That's a good competition, but Daryl Dike is going up against teams like Norwich, Brentford, Stoke, some teams that all have Premier League level talent, and I honestly think they're probably, I wouldn't say one's more talented than the other, and I honestly prefer Daryl Dike. I think he has a huge future in the team. Just having him on the bench, just having him as an option to bring on, that could be huge for us, just because he's so tough to play against with the strength that he brings, and he's really an amazing finisher as well. And you see the potential of him being a very good hold-up player. When you see him with Barnsley, you know how good he is in the air. I really want to see him play alongside Pulisic and Reyna, but yeah, that's going to have to wait. Maybe the Gold Cup, but yeah, not going to happen right now. Honestly, with Jordan Sebastian, again, I'm not too sure about that name, but to me it seems like bringing in Tyler Boyd, where it's like you look at him, he's like, yeah, he probably is good enough to be there, but the ceiling isn't that high. He's not really bringing anything that we didn't have already, and he's unproven at this level. But honestly, I probably would have preferred Yazzie Zardes in the team, which may sound weird, but we know that Zardes can score in CONCACAF competition, and we know what we're getting out of him. But with Jordan, it's just like he's a bit of a wild card, which could be a good thing in some situations, but honestly, as a backup striker, maybe not the biggest thing, and I would have preferred Daryl Dike. Okay, the next thing I wanted to get into is the midfield depth. I think it's a little bit of concern. Sebastian Lletget, I think he was expected to get called in, but Acosta and Yueill, I'm not too sure about. I should say that Owen Ottawa did pick up an injury, so I think that's why he's excluded. I did mention earlier that Chris Richards was hurt as well. That's why I felt good about the defense, even though he wasn't there. But the midfield, I'm not too sure about. I don't think that Kellyn Acosta is good enough for this team anymore. I don't think his defensive ability is good enough to justify selection. He really lacks technical ability. I feel like if we get pressed by a team, he's going to be struggling, and I don't see him as a guy who can make that huge pass for us and be like that real creative player. Maybe he could against some of the smaller teams, but against Mexico, if we're able to get there, I don't see him being anything special. Yueill, to me, he's similar to Michael Bradley, where I don't feel like he's good enough on the ball to justify the team being built around him. And I feel like you really need to just plan around him, put him at either the 6th position, and allow him to be like that deep-lying playmaker Regista type. Or I honestly liked him a bit more in the Olympic qualifying when he was playing further forward, and I thought Andres Pereira did a better job at the 6. But if we are going to be playing Yueill further forward, then I would have preferred somebody like Luca de la Torre, or you even have a guy like Brenden, Aaronson, Giovanni Reyna. We know that they can play inside. So I really don't see the point of Yueill being in the team. Same with Kellyn Acosta, but if they get their chances, I could see them. Maybe you could bring on like Kellyn Acosta to help seal off a game if you're up 1-0. Yueill, he did score that really great goal in Olympic qualifying, and maybe he wasn't named the captain, so maybe he has a good leadership ability like that I don't know about, but just purely on the field, I'm not too sure about that. And the last big problem, which I'm not going to go too far on because I've talked about it like 3 times this week, I feel like, but I disagree with the call-ups of the backup keepers, Horvath and David Ochoa. First, just Ochoa, just getting this out of the way because it's I think it's more of a personal opinion, but I think David Ochoa is probably only going to be the 3rd choice keeper for this, and I really feel like he would be better served with his development staying at Real Salt Lake during the tournaments this summer. I understand getting him into the camp, but him being up in the friendly, I feel like that's good enough. Just get him in the team, but I feel like it would slow his development to just be on the bench for this entire time when he could be playing in Utah, so I just disagree with him being called up on that merit. If you disagree with that, let me know, because maybe you feel like him being in the team is good, because I feel like he is talented enough to be there, and he is probably one of the main guys, our main goalkeepers in the future, but I feel like it's hurting his development. Let me know how you feel about that. And Horvath, and this one I kept talking about, where he just hasn't played this year. He's appeared in goal 3 times. He's been backing up Simon Mignolet, and I honestly have no idea what to expect with him. That's another reason why I'm really looking forward to this friendly, because I have no idea how good he's going to be, and nobody does because he hasn't played. So he could go out and just have a great performance in that friendly. Maybe he'll just completely prove me wrong, which I'm really hoping for, because he's a very promising player who I'm a fan of. But for a backup goalkeeper, you don't want that unknown. I'd rather have a guy like Matt Turner where you know what you're going to get. Bill Hammond is currently injured. I would have liked him, but man, he's just a complete unknown. You don't know what to expect from him. So yeah, I'm not too sure about that. I'm not going to go that forever. I've talked about it before, but yeah, not too sure about the goalkeepers, but hopefully it won't matter because Zack Steffen's going to be in there. Yeah, that's all I've talked about with these guys. Man, it's looking like a really fun friendly, and really fun friendly to look forward to. And the Nations League is going to be awesome to see. We finally get to see everybody who we want to see together, and man, just really looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. That's all I'll talk about for this one, and I'll see you.